Do you notice the world falling apart? Are you tired of the lies and deception? If so, then welcome to my channel, where we expose the lies and uncover the truth, helping you get ready for what's coming in the world and helping you get prepared now. Welcome to All Day, Everyday Preparedness. Remember when you were a kid and you wanted to become president, or a famous actor, or a big-time musician, or a top news anchor on TV? Well, I can remember those times as well. When I was young, I wanted to become a famous football star. Now, we're all told when we're young that we can become anything that we want to become. And I still believe that to this day, but within reason. But have you ever wondered what it takes to become president, or what it takes to become a famous musician like Madonna, or a top news reporter, let's say like Anderson Cooper? Now, aside from skill or talent, there's one big piece of the puzzle that's missing, guys. And for most of us, we're never going to meet that criteria. And we're going to discuss that in just a moment. But before we do, I need your help to further the mission of this channel. If you watch this channel and you aren't subscribed, make sure that you do that right now. It only takes a second, and it also only takes a second to hit the like button. Also, if you're able, you can hit the thanks button as well. As a small creator here on YouTube, every little bit helps, let me tell you, and I thank you for supporting this channel. Okay, let's get back to the video. So what is the one critical element or the critical criteria that the average person here in America is missing when it comes to being a president of the United States, or let's say a famous actor, or a famous musician, or one of the top news anchors on TV? Well, in order to answer that question, we must go back to the year of 1776. You heard that, 1776. That's an important date for many Americans, a very important moment in time, but we're missing some big key information that we're going to discuss here today. Now, we all know, again, this is an important date and time for many Americans because this was when the colonies declared their independence from England. But what I'm about to share with you is exactly why this was all for show, that it was a sleight of hand, just another government operation. Now, they've been running operations on us, yes, guys, even since 1776. Now, as per recorded history, George Washington was the first United States president. Now, I know this country was unofficially led by several men or several presidents before Washington was recognized as the first official U.S. president. But that's not what I'm talking about here today. So let's start again with the official first president, George Washington. You see, this was all planned all the way back from 1776, guys, and the plan is still going strong today. It's like The Matrix, you know, the movie The Matrix, but in real life. Now, this fake world has been set up and wool has been pulled over our eyes. Now, most Americans have bought into the left-right paradigm or the conservative or liberal con game, and they can't see what's right in front of their face. Now, George Washington is a direct descendant of King Edward I, or better known as Edward Longshanks. Now, his reign was depicted in the movie Braveheart. If you've ever seen that movie, that's who that's talking about, King Edward I, or King Edward Longshanks. In fact, guys, all United States presidents from George Washington all the way to Donald Trump are related to the British royals. I'm not making this up, guys. All U.S. presidents are directly descended from the line of British royalty. Now, again, I'm not a genealogist, but again, in today's times that we're living in, I don't have to be a genealogist. Most of the work has already been done. We just have to open our eyes and realize what's going on around us. Now, then, a 12-year-old girl, she's much older than that now, but at the time she was 12 years old. Her and her grandfather traced back the lineage of every United States president except one that all descended from the British royal family. Now, since her discovery, even more genealogists and more truthers have successfully linked all the presidents, even the one that she couldn't, back to English royalty. Now, a man from Illinois back in 2016, he did just that. He successfully traced all the presidents back to a former king of England. So guys, as you can see, 1776 was a sham. And I'm going to show you more about that in just a moment. Now, men fought and died in the Revolutionary War, but England or the royals still have control, and their philosophies, their strongholds, their ideology is still present today. So your rulers, your so-called elected presidents, are still keeping it in the family after all these years. Presidents are selected, guys. They're not elected. And I hope to show you that today with straight facts. Because again, if every single president came from the line of English royalty, that is unheard of. The probability would be astronomical. you'll have a better chance, guys, of winning tonight's $526 million Powerball without even buying the ticket. That's how crazy those numbers are, those odds. But you see, I never got into the whole royal thing or earthly royalty because my father is royalty, the King of Kings, the beginning and the end. You see, these earthly royals, they will have their reward, but that reward is only earthly, or it's only fleshly, or it's only carnal. Now, Prince Harry and Meghan, they're related as well. Queen Elizabeth, or the late Queen Elizabeth, and her husband Philip, they were third cousins. You see, they keep these things in the family. Again, I know it can be heavy, but it's the truth. You see, you've been lied to. And I hope by making this video that the wool is going to be taken off your eyes so that you can see clearly. But guess what, guys? It doesn't just stop with the presidents. What about the musicians, the actors, the news anchors, and other politicians involved in government? What about all those with power and influence over you right here in America? Well, guess what, guys? They're all part of the same big family. And not just any family, but part of the royal family from England. Now, again, I'm not saying that these people don't have any talent or that they're totally devoid of talent, that they didn't work hard in journalism, or they didn't work hard in politics, or they didn't work hard in music or acting to perfect their craft to get good at what they do. But what I am saying is these people are selected. These people are placed here, and they're placed in these jobs and in these positions for a purpose. And that purpose is to keep leading you and me and our families astray. The American general public, or what they would refer to as the common folk, or the peasants. They're there to be in your government, to be your presidents, to be your governors, to be your senators, to be your actors, to be your musicians, to lead and steer you away from freedom. And that is the truth. And we're going to get into that more in just a moment. You see, these people are put here to rule over you, to control you without you even knowing the wiser. Now let's take a look at many of these names that again can be directly traced back to one of the kings or one of the queens of the royal family. And there's a lot of big names in here, guys. And again, this is not an exhaustive list. This is just the names that I wanted to come up with for this particular video. And you do your own due diligence and you do your own research, you'll see that there's many more in entertainment, many more in music, many more in government, many more around the world, but more specifically here in America, that are considered celebrities or politicians. And they have these jobs for a simple reason, and that is again to keep you distracted and to tell you what to do. And the plan is working. They're influencing you without you even knowing it. So here's the list of names, guys, and their photos. Paris Hilton, Hilary Duff, Anderson Cooper, Madonna, Miley Cyrus, Billy Ray Cyrus, Beyonce, Katy Perry, Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, Tom Hanks, Jake and Maggie Gyllenhaal, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Ralph Fiennes, Uma Thurman, Brooke Shields, Glenn Close, Meryl Streep, Johnny Depp, Kirk and Michael Douglas, Ellen DeGeneres, Laura Dern, Bruce Dern, Nicolas Cage, Ozzy Osbourne, Benedict Cumberbatch, Hugh Grant, Marilyn Monroe, Kyra Sedgwick, Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, Guy Ritchie, Elle and Dakota Fanning, Allison Janney, Richard Gere, Celine Dion, Sigourney Weaver, Bill Hader, Alec Baldwin and his brothers, the Baldwin brothers, Jane Fonda, Peter Fonda, General George S. Patton, Winston Churchill, Brigham Young, Eli Whitney, General Robert E. Lee, Charles Carroll, a signer of the Declaration of Independence, John Carroll, founder of Georgetown University, Helen Keller, Carter Braxton, signer of the Declaration of Independence, Bill Weld, former governor of Massachusetts. I'm not sure how you say this, Tyne Daly or Tin Daly. Then there's Tim Daly, General George C. Marshall, author of the Marshall Plan, General or Lord Cornwallis, Patrick Henry, Dick Van Dyke, John D. Rockefeller, Lewis Carroll, the author of Alice in Wonderland, Steve Young, former 49ers quarterback, Tennessee Williams, Liz Claiborne, Edward Norton, Billy Bush, Ted Danson, William Rice, founder of Rice University, Francis Scott Key, the writer of the national anthem, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Elizabeth Montgomery, TV actor from the series Bewitched, Sandra Day O'Connor, the first female Supreme Court justice, Norman Rockwell, former Senator and presidential candidate John Kerry, former Senator, former First Lady, and former presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, Dick Clark, Bob Taft, former Ohio governor, Richard Warren Sears, founder of Sears Roebuck, Marjorie Post, founder of General Foods, later acquired by Kraft Foods, John Cena, WWE pro wrestler, Humphrey Bogart, Charles Pillsbury, co-founder of Pillsbury, Walt Disney, J.P. Morgan Jr., Betty Davis, Katharine Hepburn, Robert Frost, Henry Sturgis Morgan, co-founder of Morgan Stanley, George Romney, his son Mitt Romney, John Ritter, George Hamilton, J.K. Simmons, Raquel Welch, Bing Crosby, Steve McQueen, Judy Garland, Orson Welles, Kerry Russell, James Taylor the musician, Susan B. Anthony, Kate Upton the model, James Brolin, his son Josh Brolin, Ethan Hawke, Gina Davis, Harriet Beecher Stowe, Amy Adams, Boris Johnson, former UK Prime Minister, Post Malone, devil-worshipping rapper, Lucille Ball, Harper Lee, author To Kill a Mockingbird, Roy Rogers, the cowboy, John McCain, former U.S. Senator, former presidential candidate John McCain, Sarah Palin, former governor of Alaska, former presidential candidate, Bill Belichick, head coach of the New England Patriots, Billie Eilish, a UK singer, Bill Nye, the science guy, Valerie Bertinelli, Jordan Peele, Warren Buffett, Chevy Chase, Britney Spears, Dick Cheney, Jodie Foster, Pete Buttigieg, Aaron Rodgers, quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, James Spader, Ken Burns, the documentary and filmmaker, Tim Robbins, the actor, Charles Darwin, Charles Tiffany, the founder of Tiffany and Company, C.W. Post, founder of Post Cereals. Now again, guys, this was not an exhaustive list, but this list should make you think twice. And I know it's opened my eyes up to the world that we're living in. Again, there is no way, there are no odds that all these people could be tied into the royal family of England and have the positions of power and influence that they have by coincidence. Now, again, I'm not saying that they did not work hard, that they are totally lack and void of any kind of talent or special skill. But if you take all the names of this on this list, and trust me, guys, there's thousands more. I'm talking thousands more. I could make a video that would be for hours, that would literally be for hours, naming off all these people. But the thing is, even if you wanted to say, okay, it's a coincidence that they're all related to the royal family, it's not a coincidence, guys, that they're in these positions of power and influence in your life and are running your life. Some of these people you look up to. And I'm not saying that all these people are bad people, because that's not for me to judge. They do have a judge, just like I have a judge. But generally, this is one big family, and these people are placed in these positions, again, to influence you. And if you think back about the names on this list, you can see exactly how they are influencing and shaping your lives. Some with entertainment. They're making movies, they're making music, and they're telling you what to think, what they're singing about. You know, they're telling you the topics. And many of these people, guys, are straight up devil worshippers. I'm just going to say it. It's straight facts. But then you have the ones that's in politics, like every president of the United States. Again, there's too many coincidences here, guys. So it is time to wake up and know what world you're living in. So as you can see, guys, this runs deep, and these people control the world. Maybe not in total, but they play their role and they play their part. And more specifically, they have power and influence and control over you right here in America. And you can guarantee, guys, that the power, the prestige, and the influence that's been given over you, they're not going to give that up lightly. Now, as a prepper channel, I try to steer you all in the right direction so you can see who your enemy is. And I hope that this video was able to further do that. Now, I'm not telling you to dislike or despise any of the people that I just mentioned or anything like that, but you need to know that the world that you live in, what is actually happening in reality, because these people aren't going away. They've been there your whole life. And again, that's not an exhaustive list. That's just some of the names of the people that's influencing you without your knowledge. But it's good to know again who your enemies are and to know who your biggest enemy is. But it's okay, guys. There's no need to get upset or to get scared, because we do have an advocate with the Father. And I'm talking about a royal priesthood, a holy and set apart Father. Now, holy means set apart, and set apart means to be separate from the world. And it's time for us to strengthen our relationship and make our election sure and to be set apart. And we can't do that without being separate from this world. Because like I've discussed in previous videos, guys, our enemies, they have big plans for humanity. And they have big plans, again, for us common folk, or what they may refer to as in times past, peasants. But you see, my king is the King of Kings. And he said his kingdom would be an everlasting kingdom, and that his kingdom would literally crush all these earthly kingdoms. Now, I don't have any English royal blood in my veins, but I do have the blood of a carpenter king, the greatest man to ever walk this earth. So get up and look up and live up to the standard that you're called to live to, because time is short. These earthly kingdoms, as you can see with your very own eyes, are crumbling around you. The high inflation, the high debt, the wars, the unrest, and the total enslavement of mankind through technology and transhumanism is coming. So I want you to be a citizen of the kingdom to come. Don't worry about these earthly bloodlines and these royal bloodlines here on earth. I want you to worry about a bloodline that's everlasting, a kingdom that's everlasting, a kingdom that's coming, where the streets are pure gold. You see, my king isn't from an earthly bloodline. He's the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, a lion from the tribe of Judah. And he said he's going to rule these nations with an iron fist, or with a rod of iron. Now, I've said all this in this video to say this. Are you ready for his reign? Are you ready for his return? But guys, I want to thank you for watching this video. That's going to be a wrap for this video. Make sure that you hit the like button if you like the video. Make sure you share it out with others if you feel they need to know this information. And most importantly, guys, continue to prepare and get ready for the kingdom to come. Again, I want to thank you guys for watching. Continue to prepare. And as always, be blessed.